What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Met Central podcast. I apologize right now for not making any videos on the Mets Blue Jay series. I was busy throughout the entire week, and I'll do my best to be more consistent. But we got a couple things to talk about with the Mets. As like I said, they got swept by the Blue Jays. Tomas Nido got DFA'd. They're playing the Atlanta Braves. There's a lot to talk about with this team as they are not not looking great. Not looking great by any stretch of the imagination. But before we jump into it, leave a like if you enjoy the podcast. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live on the channel. But how are we feeling about the Mets? How are we feeling?
Same as when they were winning. Glass half full. You never know what to expect from this team. I just hope they don't regret keeping Narvaez over Nido because I like Nido a little bit more than Narvaez. But
really? I don't know if I agree with that. I
just on the familiar face aspect, I think maybe it's like, maybe just because I'm more used to him than Narvaez, and also I have a little bit of James McCann hangover. But who doesn't?
Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, I'm personally fine with Tomas Nido being DFA'd. I thought that was the right decision. I feel like it was time. He has not been good enough for the Mets throughout his entire tenure. I thought he was just meh. He showed flashes of good defensive play, but outside of that, never really wowed you with the bat. He'd come up with a few clutch hits, but I'd rather them have Narvaez and Alvarez. But the problem that I have right now is that we're already one day back with Narvaez, and he's already in the lineup. And yep. I bet he's going to be penciled in more than Alvarez. And what are they going to do? They're just going to hurt Alvarez's development, just like they're doing with Vientos. So
I would tell you not to speak it into existence, but I don't even think it's possible because it already exists.
Yep, just a classic thing that the Mets love to do. They love to bring in their top prospects, like to platoon them at the start, and get them nice and ruined for the future, like they did with Dom Smith, like they did with Michael Conforto, like they did with Ahmed Rosario. Although Rosario, they penciled him in the lineup more often than not, but mostly Dom Smith and Michael Conforto, they just absolutely destroyed. You have got them playing guys out of position, like a JD Davis, like a Daniel Murphy, like a Lucas Duda. So, yeah, this is nothing new with the Mets. I can't say I'm surprised.
Sucks, but it's the truth. It's nothing new. It's the status quo. Well, why would we expect any less? And it's good, right? Because the veterans on the team are doing so good right now. So why even put the young guys in, right? Like Vogelback, he's batting like 400, right?
Oh yeah, of course. You would think he's batting 400 with the way that Buck just puts him in the lineup every single game.
Is his OPS even over 400?
I think it's like 390 or something bad. It's awful.
Let's see what his OPS is. His OPS is actually 671, which is a lot higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah, but what's his on base? Because it's probably carried by his on base.
On base, 356.
356,
yeah, it's carried by his on base. Because we know that he loves to just stand in the batter's box and do nothing.
Yep, and Mark Hanna just did well enough the past week to where he's like locked in for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, hitting second also in that game against the Blue Jays. You had Tommy Pham leading off. It didn't backfire. He hit 2 home runs. Made a bad play in center field, but it's just a disaster. Now they have Ronnie Mauricio in AAA learning how to play left field. Yep. Francisco Lindor doesn't know how to hit a baseball anymore.
Drop him in the lineup.
Yeah, seriously, I don't understand the obsession with hitting him 2 or 3. I guess it's just Robinson Cano syndrome here with this team.
You just got to hold everyone to like the same level of accountability. Like, and it's a shame too because his RBI numbers, I think he's second or third in the entire NL, but like he's batting 213. I mean, damn, at what point? Like, come on, you can't spread a message of accountability and have a guy batting 213, batting second. This doesn't make any sense to me. Your 1-2 should be McNeil or Nimmo then McNeil. If you want guys on base repeat, that's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree. But regardless, it's like I just don't know how you could construct this lineup reasonably. There's just no one that's good enough. And this is why when we were talking about the conversation of them potentially not being Fugazi anymore, I was not ready to remove that tag from them because of the fact that the offense continues to not produce. And
This sucks.
even during that sweep with the Phillies, they were getting 4 hits in a game, 5 hits in a game, 3 hits in a game. It just wasn't enough offense for me. And they just continue to show that they don't have a good enough offense. And I just continue to question why they decided to run it back with virtually the same exact roster this season.
Especially a roster that got melted in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Worse actually with their relievers.
It was so bad. And the pitching's been good. Just, man, like, we can't hit anything.
Even with the pitching, there's so many concerns because what do you do anymore with Kodai Senga? You tried him on regular rest. That was an absolute disaster. But you have to keep trotting him out there because if not, what are you going to do in the playoffs when he's supposed to be on even shorter rest to go out there every 4 days potentially instead of every 5th day? So what are you going to do in the playoffs if you can't get Kodai Senga on regular rest? I don't know what you're going to do there. It's already June. He should be accustomed to that. You have disasters in Tyler McGill. Carlos Carrasco is not good at all.
Go there.
David Peterson can't even pitch in AAA. Jose Quintana, what is he going to be coming back from the injured list?
I forgot about him. I forgot he even existed.
God.
They have way too many questions. The bullpen is just an absolute disaster without Edwin Diaz. You have all this mix and matching that you just don't know what to do because you have to get creative for the 8th inning. Like, you have guys that shouldn't be pitching in the 8th inning, like Drew Smith's. Like, that's a guy that should be pitching in the 6th or 7th inning. He should not be out there in the 8th, 9th inning, but the Mets don't have a choice but to trot him out there. I just look at this team right now and question, is it even worth it going for it at the deadline? Because they look like a 500 team, and are you really going to overpay when you have way too many holes on this roster? You clearly have holes in the outfield because Marte, Pham, and Canna cannot produce at a consistent enough level. You're platooning way too many guys in the infield. And then you have questions of DH because why would you give Vientos consistent at bats? Letting the young guys play? What's that? No, I don't know what that is. And then the pitching staff just has way too many holes. You got to go out and get another closer type, high leverage reliever. You definitely have to add to the rotation. There's just way too many holes where it's like, is it worth it even going for it at the deadline?
Dude, the Mets are like a perfectly mid team with like superstar levels of expectations. And it sucks because this is the world we're stuck in. We expect a team that's not capable of going far to go far. And it's more than just plugging in a couple guys. It's getting rid of some core pieces and plugging those guys in to fill their spot. And you're right. Platooning way too many guys. If you don't have a guy playing third base every day, you don't have a third baseman. If you don't have a guy playing left field every day, you don't have a left fielder. Like, I'm okay with having guys that you plug in every now and again to give a starter rest, but we have multiple positions where we don't have a starter.
Yep. And it shouldn't be this way. All they have to do is pencil Brett Beatty in the lineup and let him figure it out. Because why is it that when Francisco Lindor is going for his last 15, he could still be in the lineup every day, but Brett Beatty has a 4 strikeout game and he's out of the lineup the next day? It just doesn't make any sense the way that players are held accountable. And that goes on Buck Showalter, who I think has just been disastrous as of lately. But granted, at the same time, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt at times because you have AAA pitchers in your bullpen. You have your GM who made stupid trades, trading one of your better relievers to get Daniel Vogelbach. But at the same time, you have these young players that you could be playing every day, and you're just not utilizing them correctly.
Not even like a little bit. And there just has to be options out there that could help. Like, I just don't understand what Vogelbach has done to deserve to stay on this roster. I don't know what Eduardo Escobar, how he's even still on the team. Mark Canha, will give him the benefit of the doubt because he was good a couple days ago, or good last week, and that's about it. Starling Marte has been fucking brutal this year. He hasn't given us anything. He's not stealing bases, which is bizarre because you think now with the rules favoring base runners and offense, that he'd steal like 47 bases like he did a couple years ago, but he's not even trying to. Not that he's even on base to even get a shot to do it. It's just, I don't know, man. This might just be a season where you punt and then you have to reset in the offseason when everyone's contract expires, because there's not even anybody available right now that we looked at when we looked that was even worth pursuing.
Yeah, it's only on the pitching side with Shane Bieber. That's the only name that has been thrown out there potentially as an option that's
and then you have to give up all your young guys to get them anyways.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. And then the rotation, again, you still have questions with, because you have two 40-year-olds anchoring it, and it's just inevitable that they're not going to give you enough starts. So it's like, I don't know where you go. But all I know is that this team should not go all in at the deadline. They shouldn't.
Like, if you're trading mid prospects, like prospects that aren't in your top 25, fine. But you shouldn't be giving up anybody in your top 25 unless you're taking a big swing for no reason. I don't know. We didn't see anybody. Was there anybody aside from Bieber lately now? But there's nobody available that made sense to pursue. Not a single player.
No, outside of Tyler O'Neill, I think was the only one potentially.
Right, Tyler O'Neill. But even Tyler O'Neill, like, he's a really good player, but like, I don't know. Maybe we should be.
I think we save it for next year with Ohtani coming in free agency, or Soto in the future.
But even with Ohtani, now I have some questions, because if Kodai Senga can't pitch on regular rest, Ohtani's a guy that doesn't pitch on regular rest either. What are you going to do for the rotation next year if you have two guys that can't go on regular rest?
And then two 41 and 42, 41 or 42-year-olds.
If either of them don't retire whether the next 2 years or not.
Yeah, that's in a weird spot. They're almost like a purgatory right now.
Yeah, I don't know where you go at this point, because there's just way too many question marks. There's
got to bank on the young guys. Honestly, like, you might be at the point now where you just need to commit to the young guys and, like, listen, it's sink or swim. Like, listen, they're in the nest. Buck Showalter needs to fucking kick them out of the nest and see if they fly or not. If they fall flat on their face, they fall flat on their face. But you are out of options. You've got to give something a shot. Like, when the Yankees went on their run, was it 2018 when they lost to the Astros?
2017.
When the Astros cheated? Was it 18?
2017.
Okay, so 2017 when they went to the final, right? So the Yankees had a lot of really good young players in their line. Like, Gary Sanchez was young, had a great year. We had a bunch of young guys. That
even the next year, they had Gleyber Torres come up. They had Miguel Andujar come up.
Right, guys like that. Like obviously now they're not very good anymore. But at that time, they were good young players in the league, and it was sink or swim. They threw them out there, they succeeded, and they went all the way, and they lost to a cheating Astros team.
The Cubs did with Baez when he was young.
Right,
gave him a shot. And he led him to the World Series.
Right, just at some point you've just got to be like, just commit. Because the old guys aren't. It's not like the old guys are getting better, right? It's not like the 30. How old's Edward? 34. Him and Ken are both 34. It's like you're putting Escobar and Ken out there, like, oh, well, this guy's young. He's going to still be getting better. No, what you see is what you get. They might get hot, they might heat up, but they're not getting better. Why not give reps to Vientos, to Beatty, to Alvarez? Fuck it, Mauricio at some point. Like, at some point, you've got to take a shot on the young guys and hope that they just continue to get better. Because there's no one to trade for. There's no one else to call up, and you know what you have with the veterans, and what you have with the veterans is nothing right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it just sucks to see that so much of this payroll is getting wasted. Now we're potentially talking about them having the largest payroll in baseball, and we're potentially talking about them needing to be led the way by young rookies in this league. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why they're even trying with these veterans. I don't understand. And the free agent market's not good next offseason, so it's like, I don't know what you do. I just don't know.
There's not even any opt-outs or any like good opt. Like, there's literally nothing. Like, it's you bank on your young guys or hope that someone comes available that no one expected and you can somehow land them. But if it's only one guy available, you have to give up a premium to get him. So what difference does it make? We're still going to be in the same spot we were in as before, with no damn prospects and a bunch of older players that just suck.
Yeah.
You think at least Lindor could at least bat over 250. He's playing like, I mean, seriously, the New York Mets, the only reason they're here right now is on the backs of a couple old pitchers and Pete Alonso. No one else is doing a damn thing that I could really think of. Obviously, Alvarez and the young guys, when they're in the lineup, do something. That's about it. It's about it. There's no one to count on aside from offensively. There's no one you can consistently count on aside from Pete Alonso, and we're wasting arguably what could be his best season yet. We're wasting it right now.
He's on pace for 60 or so, right?
He's on pace for over 60 home runs, and it's
Yeah.
just like, whatever.
I'm afraid he's gonna walk. That's my biggest fear. If you don't figure something out,
I don't understand why they haven't extended him. That's another conversation, but. Yeah, they're wasting Pete Alonso, and even then, he's getting into a bit of a slump of his own because of the fact that he probably feels that the weight is all on him to produce.
His
because
back is
no
probably
one
getting
else
a little
is.
sore.
Yeah, because no one else is producing.
Just fucking dumb. Hold on, let's see. Look at the Mets on Spotrac right now. Let's take a look at their payroll for this season. So right now, this season, you're paying Scherzer and Verlander both $43 million. Lindor, 34. Marte's making $20 million this year. And I don't understand how Marte got that much money to begin with. I was happy with the signing, as we all were, but I don't know how he's making over $20 million. Carrasco, $14 million. Canna, $11 million. Robertson, $10 million. Escobar, 9.5. Omar Narvaez is making $8 million. Like,
and he has an option next year, a player option.
Dude, like, how do you have to bribe a catcher that's never hit over 250 in his career? What did Narvaez do last year that earned him $8.5 million or $8 million? What has he done at any point in his career that, like, you know what? Yeah, this guy's an $8 million catcher. Omar Narvaez last year batted .206 with an OPS of .597, and that's like, oh yeah, $8 million. Like, you have to bribe that guy. Tommy Pham is making $6 million. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all that we have to pay so much for the most mid players humanly possible. To mention, Jose Quintana, $13 million. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you want to pay all these guys this freaking money, but you won't go out and, like, spend the extra to get players that are doing well right now that were signed as free agents. Who are the pitchers that me, you, and Joey were talking about that are making less than Carrasco and Quintana that were free agents?
Zach Eflin and I forgot the other guy.
But either way, two pitchers that cost less than what you're paying these guys, and they're outperforming them. Not for the first time, but again. And we're like, no, we're gonna pay the older guys. Like, I just don't understand why. Stupid.
Yep, and they wanted to just run it back with the same team that didn't work last year because that makes perfect sense.
But, like, worse, too. Like, worse than last year the roster is.
Yeah, somehow. And I just don't understand. Someone made this point that I saw earlier today. I don't remember who it was. Otherwise, I'd give them a shout out. But they were saying, why are we trusting Billy Epler, a guy who has not won a damn thing in this league, to steer a $350+ million ship?
Yeah.
What? And that's something that falls a bit on Steve Cohen because he put him in place. And the Mets have their own version of Rangeritis here, where you have Sandy Alderson, who's pretty much the Mets version of Darth Sather here, who's still sticking around the organization. Fred Wilpon is still here. They're freaking Chris Christie around the organization too. Like, what are we doing with some of these guys?
It's a joke. It's a friggin' joke. You know, the saddest part is, I was just looking at the numbers too. Guess what Mets pitcher has the most innings pitched this season?
It's got to be Tyler McGill, right?
Tyler fucking McGill.
Yeah.
This is like this. Dude, I don't know. I
mean, I will say at least they avoided Jacob deGrom because, you know,
I feel so bad for him.
That news would have destroyed me. Yeah, I feel bad for him. I don't like the way that things ended with him, but I definitely feel bad. But at the same time, I mean, that was one thing the Mets did that was smart because they knew his UCL was partially tore already.
Right.
So at least they didn't bring him back and spend on that investment. But I mean, that's like about it for one of the only good things that the Mets have done lately.
That's seriously about it, honestly.
Honestly, the only thing the Mets have done right lately is dodge big investment bullets. Whether it's
Yeah,
Trevor
for
Bauer,
Ashman, too.
Carlos Correa, Jacob DeGrom, now you could throw on the list, George Springer, who, by the way, had a good series, I'm pretty sure, against the Mets, though. So even then,
Yeah.
it's like
Baez was the biggest one. Baez, what a flop.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Baez
he's
too,
a
yeah.
mess.
He is awful now.
Yep. They dodged a couple of big bullets, but is that really what when you're spending that much money you want to be known for, being the best at dodging big investment bullets? No. It's just sad to see this payroll being as high as it is and them just wasting it completely.
Well, it's just like the guys that are making the money, which is so confusing. Like, I'm sure if you went around and looked at other 20 million players in the league, that Starling Marte would probably be the worst performing one, with a couple of exceptions of guys that are probably well over the hill and got overpaid when they were young,
Yeah.
like the Rendones of the league. But I'm sure Rendon is probably doing better than Marte if he's even playing. Let's see.
That's the key. If Rendon's even healthy, because
I don't think he's healthy.
why would Rendon be healthy?
No, he's healthy. He's only played 30 games, but he's got a 784 OPS with a 301 batting average. So he's like significantly outplaying them. I don't know. Let's see, 2023 MLB trade deadline dates. Let's see if there's even anything that could save us, even a little bit.
I don't even know if Ohtani would save this.
No, I don't think 3 Ohtani would save us. Hold on. Did I click on the
I
wrong one?
love Brian Reynolds.
Here.
Great switch hitter.
So this was posted 7 days ago. Ohtani, Brian Reynolds, who I don't even think is really having that good of a season.
Just
He's a
having
solid guy.
switch in a lineup still helps out a lot.
This is the one I was thinking of that I couldn't think of. Corbin Burns. That's like a good young player, a good young pitcher too.
We were talking about that a while ago, right?
Yeah, because he requested a trade after hearings.
Yeah, Corbin Burns would be a good acquisition, but
Be a
that's
great
another
acquisition.
one where it's like, what's the price on him? Because doesn't he have control too?
Yeah, because he's got I think he's on a 1 year. He's got arbitration again next year. But if Steve Cohen's serious about having the deepest pockets, I mean that's a guy you pay. Here, Jonathan Scope or Shope, however you say it.
Scope.
Jonathan Scope. These are all pitchers. Edwin Diaz's brother. I don't know why that wasn't like the go-to.
Chafin is good. Tall.
I mean, now
They're
the Reds
keeping
are moving
yeah.
Diaz's brother. No way.
Carlos Santana, Sonny Gray. These are all like really pitch like. Is that Grace? Grace on? Hey, babe, we're live right now, babe.
Hi.
Nick Senzel.
I'm gonna check the.
Okay, Nick Senzel's not bad. That's just another guy. Charlie Blackmon, but he's
Like
kind of
Senzel's not having a bad year.
I don't think so. Since he's on the Reds, right?
Mm-hmm.
No way. Nick Senzel
No.
back? I gotta check. I know he's been bad lately. Yeah, he's making a little bit of a comeback. He's been
And he's
okay.
only 27, and you have 2 more years of control, right? So it is free agent 2026. So at the very least, you get 2 years of control. Decent enough fielder. Kind of like mid OPS though. Like he's not great.
Yeah.
Definitely think
I mean, the
about
only good thing, I guess, is that he could play pretty much anywhere, but
right. What about
it's like,
He's on the older
he's
side, though.
he's completely washed. I mean, you're just getting him for the 1 year. Yeah, but even Blackman's still batting 276 with an 800 OPS. Like I would take a shot on that.
yeah, and at worst, I mean, he'll give you like a 730 OPS, which, I mean, what's the harm in
Right.
that at this point with the way that this lineup has performed?
Exactly. And I don't think what's it called? I don't think Colorado will be looking to move anybody
Oh my
else. Not with that
God.
monster Chris
Kill for
Bryant
Chris
there.
Bryant.
No, I'm good without Chris Bryant. If the way he got paid, I'm good without Chris
it's
Bryant.
him. I'm just saying, as a player, he's fantastic.
He's only giving them 52 games right because he was hurt all of last year. That's another bullet you could put down the Mets dodging Chris Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say that. But it's like, this is the problem here. Like Charlie Blackmon's
I know.
a guy that we have to potentially be like, oh, maybe, but it's like
What a move. There's no
it's just,
Cespedes out there, dude. There's no like what Cespedes did for us in 2015. There is none of those that exist right now in the market. Not a single one.
nope. Unless there's someone that's a free agent the year after that, maybe.
Well, Machado got his extension after he was going to opt out. Arenado took his extension before he had a chance to opt out.
Soto's
Yep.
2025, right?
Yes, I guess Soto, but like, well, what's it called? They're not friggin' trading Soto.
Tim Anderson.
Yeah, Tim Anderson.
He was in the middle of a game and he said like, "I hate this place," or something like that to one of his buddies.
What is he, Alec Boehm?
Okay, right.
Boom squad. Yeah, Tim Anderson would be solid, dude. 273. Wait,
He's fast.
he's only got a 633 OPS, but he's got a really low.
But the problem is, where are they gonna play him? Because they have to, of course, they have to please Lindor the best they could.
I guess so. I'm wondering, a guy like
Yes.
Tim Anderson, like he might make the switch to second base.
I was gonna say you can play second or third if I'm not wrong.
I mean, I'd really like them to explore that Liam Hendricks, Eloy Jimenez package again.
Dude. Freaking
That's a package I'd
Jimenez.
love for them to explore.
Yeah.
But it's the Mets. They won't pursue trades that might make sense. Dude, you know it's kind of crazy the fall off of Eloy Jimenez. Like we're talking about one of the best batters in the league to just kind of just one of the worst, really, really fast. Like he was
Yeah.
like putting like at one point he was thought to be putting up numbers similar to who's the DH on the Astros?
Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah. Like Jordan.
Oh,
He's actually, you know what, dude? I take it back. Jimenez is having an okay year. What's he got? He's got
266 isn't terrible.
759 OPS. He's only 26. Like he's still a kid. You get another year of control after this year, and then he's UFA. I'm using hockey terms, but still. But then you worry, is he going to stay healthy?
Yep. I mean, for other names that you potentially have that could be here for this year and next year, not a whole lot.
No, there's really none. Unless you swing a massive deal with the White Sox, and you look at it like a Juan Moncada or Luis Robert, if you really want to overpay for Robert.
That would be
exciting.
That would be an idea. Yeah, like most of the free agents the year after, like they're all on contending teams. Like you got,
Exactly.
damn, Garrett Cole already has one of his opt-outs next year, or not next year, the
Who?
year after. Garrett Cole, he has an opt-out.
Really?
Yeah, not this year, but the year after. That contract's going by quick. Jeez.
Dude, it is.
Imagine.
I mean, dude, I hate to admit it out loud, but he's had good years every year with the Yankees. He's never had a bad year with the Yankees.
Yes, and you know what the
Even
main
his
thing he
fourth
does? You know what
Uh.
the best thing that he does for the Yankees is he goes out there every fifth day.
Right, 100%. If nothing else.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a start ever.
Dude, he's
I would love it for the
7-0
Mets to
this
have a
year.
guy like that.
Seriously.
What's
Yeah.
his opt out?
He's 7-0 with a 1.13 whip. Jesus. He's probably number one in Cy Young voting right now in the AL.
Yeah. You think?
I mean, I'm trying to think of another pitcher who would be ahead of him. Oh, I guess Otani.
Slumps.
But I don't even know what Otani's pitching numbers are this year.
It's too
Wait, are you talking about like who would be the Cy Young front runner in the AL?
Yeah, if it's not
Framber
Cole,
Valdez.
what is he at right now?
He's putting up. Let me look up his numbers. He is putting up some ridiculous numbers this year, though. Framber has been really good. He's got a 2.16 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 84 strikeouts,
How many innings pitched?
79.
Yeah, never mind. He's definitely ahead of Cole. I don't even think that's up for discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, he's having a really good year. 1.8 walks per nine. 9.6 strikeouts per nine.
Who else is in that rotation?
Christian Javier, Hunter Brown,
That's not the one I'm thinking of. Not him.
Lance McCullers Jr. if he's still around. Who is? I'll check quickly.
There's one. There's one I'm missing.
Maybe it was
Uh,
McCullers. It's a rain delay.
Rain delay for the Mets game.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
the
not
surprise?
surprised. It was pouring in Long Island today.
let's see.
Maybe it was McCullers I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking right now at the rotation, and
That's
I
an
just
oldie but a goodie.
Urquidy, Luis Garcia.
Jose,
love
you said Jose O'Crady?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking of.
yeah. I haven't. He's injured right now. He was having an awful year though when he was healthy. Jeez.
What are the Blue Jays sitting at? Are they doing any good?
They're right behind us, no? Or right in
I
front
think-
of us?
I'm not too sure, but if the Blue Jays don't want to contend this year, Matt Chapman's a name they could explore. They're 33-28, 9.5 back from the division, but
I
I'd
would
imagine
not
they're gonna
mind
go
if they
for the wild card.
Florida.
Dude, I would not mind if the Blue Jays started sucking and they had some pieces that came available.
Nick, you literally just said that.
The only problem with Matt Chapman, I would not want them to extend him long term. I would not. I was very vocal about this on a prior podcast episode. I would not want them to extend Matt Chapman
I
because
agree with that. Well, let me ask you this about Toronto, because this is a guy that just got sent down.
Alek Manoah.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I went
No.
with the 10-foot pole, dude. He sucks. He
Even if it's like
sucks.
a low risk, it could be low risk, high reward depending on what you pay.
I wouldn't do it. No.
No,
No. He was kind
I
of.
just feel like nothing is working out for them right now. I mean, Kevin Biggio's playing like shit.
His dad was better.
The problem with
It's like
Alek
a real
Manoah
G.
is he was kind of fake good last year. Like
You think
his
so?
stuff, yeah, his stuff just wasn't consistent. He was kind of fake good. That's why I wouldn't risk it with Manoah.
God, Jose Barrios. That was a guy the Mets were connected to for a century, it felt like.
Yeah, that's another name I forgot about. But it's like, yeah, they're with the Blue Jays. I don't know who outside of Matt Chapman you would target on that team. Like there's not really.
Well, if we get Chapman, where are you going to put Beatty?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't extend
the
him long
outfield.
term. But yeah, Beatty, you could either play him in the outfield. You could definitely move pieces around, but
I mean, Chapman's
Or
arguably
you
the
could-
best defensive third baseman. So I mean,
Or you
he's
could,
got to play the line.
yeah, you could DH Beatty too for the time being while he's here. Outside of that, I mean, for other names potentially from the Blue Jays, Brandon Belt doesn't excite me, but as a DH option,
I would say as a platoon guy, like DH, like you said, yeah.
Whit Merrifield maybe. I don't know.
Kansas City Royals legend.
And then on the pitching front, I don't know what the contracts look like for some of these relievers, but my God, if the Blue Jays were to fall out of contention, I would love Jordan Romano for the back of the bullpen.
Mhm. Yep.
Adam Simber, I think, is a solid arm too, if I'm not mistaken. That he's actually having a bad year. I don't know, like just looking at the names, there's just not enough, and
It's not.
it just goes back to the fact that there's way too many holes on this roster. Where it's
right.
like,
Not enough for
I don't know,
one
you
player
know.
to fix.
yeah,
He was looking at a collection of players, like whatever the Braves did when they won the World Series times 2 or 3. When they got all those guys in.
yeah.
I don't know if you don't have the pieces, but a guy like Jazz,
Just Chisholm.
just
They would never trade him in division. That would be kind of nuts, though. He
a guy
strikes out
like
so
him.
much.
I'm not saying him. A guy like him who's fast. He got a good arm in the outfield. He's not gonna, hit 350 or anything crazy, but he's gonna get on base and he's gonna steal bases and he's gonna get runs.
I feel like I don't know. The Mets are in such a weird. Like we need another power bat. We need guys that get on base. We need
This is the
so
thing that-
much.
Yeah, this is the thing that sucks though with the MLB not having like a limit with contract years because all these guys that are the top players in the league already are signed to
Yep.
12, 13, 14-year long deals. And
Yep.
it's like the only name that really will become available anytime soon is Juan Soto for
Right.
like top end players. But even then,
Exactly.
Juan Soto's been a guy that's just been struggling.
Mhm.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what you do.
I think you call the White Sox to get close to the deadline and see how serious they are about moving a guy like Jimenez and Hendricks. And who knows? Maybe they have even more guys they'd be looking to move. But how much longer is Hendricks out for?
Hendricks is back. He came back in May,
Oh shit! Never mind.
late May. Yeah, he had a rough first outing, but his latest two have been good.
I'm just trying to imagine freaking Luis Robert too. I know that's a stretch, but ooh.
I would
Dude.
say Yohan Moncada is more realistic since he's a free agent in 2025. So I don't know how he's doing, but even then, that's another guy where it's like, okay, you acquire him, but he usually plays third base, so it's you're out of room for Beatty, and even then, he's having a pretty bad year. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. But that's why the Mets, it just circles back to they have to give these young guys the chance to become one of these type of players and be these everyday players, because you quite literally don't have any other choice, because none of the guys that you would want on the or need are on the trade market or on the free agent market anytime soon. So it's like you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
What a somber podcast, but seriously, this is just what it is. This is just the reality of it.
Really does suck.
It's the truth, though, dude. It sucks. The NHL's quiet. The MLB's quiet.
I wouldn't
the
call
Mets
the NHL
suck.
quiet, but today with the Pro Broad.
Well, the Rangers end of it,
Okay, fair enough.
and they didn't even name a damn coach.
Nope. I don't even know where to go with the Mets, though. I don't know. 2 games back from the wild card, 5.5 from the division. I mean, this series against the Braves is really make or break.
It is 100%. Well, what are the Mets sitting at in the standings right now? We're
30 and
games
30, 5.5 back of the Braves, 2 back of the wild card. I mean, if you're still behind the Marlins by the trade deadline, you got to consider selling. You have to. I'm sorry.
I agree.
But
I agree 100%.
at that point, I don't know how you could even consider buying.
The Brewers really are not having that good of a year either.
Miami came out of nowhere. I don't know how they're doing this.
So did Arizona. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What do they even have? Like, I can't even remember.
Didn't they sign Chafin?
Corbin Carroll has been absolutely ridiculous for them.
Oh, you mean a young player
That's
coming up and doing well? I wouldn't know
I
anything
forgot.
about that with the teams I root for.
He's going
Yep.
off, dude.
Corbin Carroll's been ridiculous for them.
Been very, very good. Baltimore got kind of surprised me, but
Now, the Orioles being
Gunnar
good at any
Henderson's
point in history is just
good.
bizarre.
It's crazy when you play your young guys.
Gunnar has not
Right.
been good. As a Gunnar Henderson fantasy owner, he has not been good.
Really?
No, he has been horrendous. But Adley Rutschman's been good.
Freaking rush god. But this is what happens when you play young guys and put them in positions to
Yeah,
succeed.
do you see a
The
theme
team
here
does
with
well.
the guy with the players that I'm naming that are doing well for these teams? Do you see a theme?
Right, exactly. Even fucking
Look
James
at McCann, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's batting
I was
195,
looking
but a
at Ryan
608
O'Brien.
OPS.
I was looking at the 843.
Yeah, but Adley Rutschman, like Cedric Mullins, stud. Even Ryan Mountcastle is not having a
Santander's
bad
not
year. A
terrible.
709. Just man. Like
Aaron
these guys have penny payrolls, and they are like just outperforming us by 1 million.
Yeah. They need their young talent to just take over. They just need to let it happen. It's just that simple, and that will put them in a good position. But no, why would we do that? Why would we play Vientos, who has openly said that it's been a tough adjustment for him to go from playing every day to being a platoon player? Why would we play that guy?
You're wasting him away when he could be getting good reps at AAA.
Yeah, and I guarantee you the Mets trade him at the deadline, and he
Don't speak that into existence, please don't.
and he does better elsewhere.
Natural. I mean, that's what all Mets prospects do.
Mhm.
There was even a moment in time where Michael Fulmer was like a ridiculously good reliever, and he was the guy.
I
we
think
traded
he's
for
been.
Cespedes.
I think he's been solid right now. Actually,
Naturally.
What about speaking of young guys and our bullpen? What about the other Wilmer Flores? Not the one we had. The other ones.
I think if you make a move for, you need at least 2 or 3 relievers to be safe, and you need one that you could flex as a closer, or just have in a closer spot until Diaz gets back. I think David Robertson. I don't know what you do with David Robertson. He's been really fucking solid.
not
Maybe
better than
not-
Edwin Diaz, by the way, because I saw someone say that he's been better than Diaz.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, that's a tough hill to climb.
Yeah,
Like-
maybe like 5 years ago.
Well, when Diaz comes back, who's your setup guy
Robertson.
over Ottavino? If I know Ottavino, people are like on him, but 8th inning Ottavino.
I'd move him down a spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would.
You could.
And his cutter's so gross.
You have to move Ottavino down. He hasn't been good enough this year.
I agree
Either
with that.
way, and I'm still scared of them bringing Diaz back if they get far enough, because it's like I don't want to
Like
rush him.
rushing him.
I really don't want to rush him back. But even then, I don't think the Mets are going to make it deep enough to the point where Diaz could come back.
I don't even think we're gonna make the playoffs at this rate, dude. Unless something drastically changes, I don't see us
If
even
we
making the
wake
playoffs.
up offensively and start hitting the ball.
Just putting it in play, we're striking out so much. Like, get the fucking bat off your shoulders. We're not even swinging the bat.
Yeah, they're one of the worst teams when it comes to on the pitching side giving up home runs, and they're one of the worst teams in terms of striking out a ton.
Is there like a stat you could look up for striking out looking? Like what team's the worst at it? Because I bet you the Mets are number 1.
I could try to find that out for you.
Figure it's not the NHL, so maybe they will give you a stat like that, like a deep stat.
Yeah.
Not a stat that's just like,
Let's see if I could find it. If I could do this. There we go. They don't have that, but let's see where they are in some of these stats. They are okay, so on strikeouts. Oh, the Twins are horrendous. They are actually not as bad as you think when it comes to striking out. Yeah, they actually don't strike out a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's just timely strikeouts.
Yeah.
It's just strikeouts at bad times. It feels like it's worse.
Yeah, they're third in the league with the least amount.
Really?
Yep, unless this has to be no, this is hitting. I was going to say this might be pitching, but no, this is hitting.
Huh.
Is there a strikeout with runners in scoring position stat? Because I bet you were probably
That would be a different story, probably. Let's see if I could find that out.
We've been batting average with runners in scoring position.
I want to see where they are in batting average in general.
yeah.
That they can't be high at all.
They're 20th.
Oh. Well,
It's not.
it's
terrible,
not it's not as bad as I thought, but it's still pretty bad.
So somehow ahead of the Yankees.
Where are the
Batting
Yankees at?
average. Yankees are at 22nd.
Hmm.
And they're ahead of the Mariners. Padres are really bad.
Wow, really?
The Padres and the Brewers are really not doing very well.
In OPS, let's see. Mets are 22nd. And on base percentage, the Mets are 19th.
Wow. This is the most expensive team in the league.
And walks, the Mets are 10th in walks, though. So
Okay.
Well, that's what happens when we don't swing the bat.
Yeah.
you can hang your hat on that. Home runs are 13th somehow.
Like
With 69,
Alonso.
by the way. Nice.
Yeah.
So we love the sex number, everyone. Let's see. let's see their with the pitching stats. In ERA, they are
They should probably
23rd in ERA.
I was gonna say at least in the top half. What? What about whip? What about whip?
That's a good question. In whip, they are 22nd.
Like guys getting on base, giving up earned runs.
They are 5th in home runs allowed as a pitching staff. They are, let's see.
Do you remember when the Mets' biggest problem was they hit too many home runs?
Yeah,
Can we go back to those days?
that would be fun. Let's see if I could find some like deeper stats. I'd like to find what their how many innings pitched they have as a team from starters this year. That would be something I'd be interested in.
That's a good one.
They're hardly getting shit out of their starters.
Yeah, well, especially how many like 2 or 3 inning games Scherzer's had and Verlander.
Makes you miss Chris Bassett, who I think is making less than, actually probably not making less than Carrasco, but actually,
This is brutal.
Chris Bassett's only making $19 million in salary. Like you're telling me you couldn't make that work for 3 years?
Their highest player in WAR this year is Brendan Nimmo. Jeez.
Not surprised with those stupid catches he makes. But
Facts.
I'm kind of surprised it's not Alonso with the amount of home runs.
Well, Alonso, his WAR is dragged down a bit by his defense. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
He's at least getting better defensively, right? Like since his rookie year to now, there's a drastic
yeah.
improvement. It's still not like where you want it ideally, but he's at least getting
He made
better.
that crazy
trying
diving
to get
pitch.
better.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I found their starting pitcher innings pitch. I don't know where it's ranked because of the fact that I don't have the rest of the league pulled up with it, but they have 304 innings as a starting pitching staff. Their bullpen has 217 innings. So, yeah.
So what's that split? That's like what 66. It's like 66-33 almost.
It might be.
What was it for starters again? Here, I'll do the math real quick.
304 innings
Yeah.
for starters.
Against 217.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. So, closer to half. I'm trying to think what the ratio would be with that. Like 217 divided by 304. Like 29% more. 29% more innings by starters. That's bad. At least it feels bad. I don't know if it is bad, but it doesn't sound good when I say it out loud.
Yeah, that. Let's do in comparison to last year for the Mets.
Like that better.
So, oh no.
Oh, give it to me
Just-
gently.
Looking at the numbers, it's bad. Okay, so they had 878 innings pitched from their starting pitchers,
All right.
and their bullpen only had 560 innings pitched.
I'm not even gonna bother look. Okay, so it's a pretty significant difference.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a stat for quality starts? That might be like a baseball savant thing.
I don't know if Savant would have it. I'm looking at Fangraphs right now with all this. Let's check.
Quality starts, I'd imagine, is down bad.
Yeah, they don't have this all on the team page for whatever reason. That might be a baseball reference thing, actually. Let me check.
I'm not even sure what's used to define a quality start, but whatever it is, it's not what the Mets are giving or getting.
No.
Like the ass opposite.
Let's see. Do they have quality starts here? Do they really not have quality starts?
Baseball Reference doesn't.
No, I don't think they do. I do want to check though with the innings thing 2021 also. I know that the Mets had that collapse and they weren't really the best that year, but yeah, even then, I mean, the difference, it was like 150 plus inning difference between the starting staff and the bullpen. With this, it's less than 100 with this year so far.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, we choose to root for this team. Like we like wake up every morning and continue to root for this team.
Yeah, as we're wearing Met shirts right now, both of us.
Right. Like fully all in. We buy the merch and shit. Like, not even a casual. Like we spend money on the team.
Yeah, this is so bad. And none of the Mets starting pitchers have a FIP under 4 this year.
Not one.
Nope.
Not even like a guy who hasn't even played enough games. Like might not even qualify.
Nope. At least from the starting pitching, none of them do, I should say. From the bullpen, that's different. David Robertson does.
Yes.
Outside of that, yeah, the list ends there, at least for guys that have given a lot of innings, because the only other guys you're looking at with under 4 is Denny Reyes. You have Jose Budo, Luis Guillorme, and
no fucking way.
And that's it.
Guess Guillorme in the bullpen if he's sitting in the dugout all game.
AAA Guillorme. Is he at least doing good in AAA?
That, let me find out, but yeah, it's bad. Not enough pitchers with a FIP under 4.
I guess Grace bought that hair wrap thing.
She did, yeah.
He's doing okay in AAA.
Batting over 250 at least?
Yeah, batting 260 with an 802 OPS. His on base is 422 right now, though. Jesus.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
That's another guy we kind of counted on to be good this year, and he just really just was not good.
Yeah.
Not even a little good. He was awful.
Well, this is a fun one.
Oh, God.
I didn't think of 2. Let's see what the Mets are looking like in WRC+.
That's definitely bottom half of the league.
They only have 6 guys with a WRC plus over 100.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
Alonso,
Wow,
not surprising.
Right.
Nimmo. And then you have Francisco Alvarez, Tommy Pham, Mark Canha, and Jeff McNeil.
Tommy Pham?
Yeah, but that's got to be a result of like the 2 home run game. Like that's like all recency stuff.
I mean, the only other guy is Michael Perez, who has a 266 WRC plus, but he only played 2 games. So
Right.
Daniel Vogelback, his is 99, so he's there. Francisco Lindor is only 92. Escobar at 91. Beatty at 90. Marte at 87. Narvaez at 87. Tomas Nido and Gary Sanchez both in the negative, but they didn't play enough. Mark Vientos is only at 33.
Ugh.
Tim Castro somehow has a better WRC plus.
Vogelback at a 99 kind of surprised me. I know it's not even a good number, but that surprised me.
Yeah, that surprised me too. But regardless, for anyone that's really holding out hope that Lindor might get out of this funk sometime soon, I hate to break the bad news to you, but this does not look good.
No. This looks bad.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say, or I should say it's safe to say, but I really get a hunch that last year is probably going to be the best year we ever see Francisco Lindor put up in a Mets jersey.
I hope that's not the case, but
I know it might be recency bias, and he's just been struggling lately, but I just don't see it. I just don't.
I don't either. I mean, if he keeps up his RBI numbers, you could almost be okay with it, right? Because he's still hitting a ton of RBIs, but you want the guy to at least get on base and give you like if he batted 230 but was giving us 30 home runs and 100 RBIs every year, I'd be okay with it. But he's not. He might give us
Yeah,
100 RBIs, but he's not giving us 30 home runs right now.
he can't even get his WRC plus up there. It's like
No.
it's bad. It's so bad.
And you wonder defensively too, because I mean that's kind of the only thing holding him together right now, keeping him valuable. What's Lindor's WAR?
1.4
I'm surprised it's over a 1.
because his
Why did it
defense,
all go?
his
Yeah.
defensive WAR is at a 5.
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
Oh my god, that is fucking crazy. He's got to be the highest in the Mets in defensive WAR. Is he higher than Nimmo?
Alvarez is actually higher than him in defensive WAR.
What's Alvarez at?
Alvarez is at 6.1.
Ooh, that's kind of sick. That's at least exciting.
Yeah, outside of that, it's pretty bad after that. You have a couple guys over 1, and then it's pretty much all negative from there on.
What's Alonso's defensive WAR? Is it positive?
No, negative 2.3.
Trying to make the case that he's getting better defensively, but his numbers are not helping me.
Not at all.
I mean, I could see what his. Let me check what it's been the past few years, and we could see if it's at least improvement.
Right, if nothing else.
Hey, it is an improvement. Last year was
well, yeah.
negative 17.1. Year before that was 9. Year before that 8.1. Year before that 14.3.
Last year was one more time?
17.1. Negative 17.1. That is.
Last year.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I don't know if he was that bad defensively.
How many errors? What is his errors by year?
Let me check. I'd have to go to Baseball Reference for. I love that you got to use like 4 different websites just to get MLB numbers. But hey, at least it's cool that we have these numbers because with the NHL now, that's not allowed.
No, not even a little bit.
Where is it? Fielding. Okay. 12 errors the first year, 5 in 2020, but that was a shortened season. 8 the year after that, 8 last year, and then 1 this year.
He only has 1 error, and he's a negative 2-1.
Yeah, that I don't understand how they take it into account. But
Well, first baseman's also, I guess, kind of a weird position to score defensively.
yeah, it definitely is. Well, let's see the strikeout percentage for these players. That's a good one.
God.
Leading the way right now, at least with a good amount of games played, is Brett Beatty at 25.2.
Oh,
Vogelback at a 24.4.
that sounds about right.
Alvarez at 23.6. Lindor at 23.4.
That hurts.
Guillorme 22.1. Let's see who the lowest is. It's got to be McNeil. Yeah, it's McNeil.
Nemo after him?
No, Canna.
Can't hit. What about Alonso? What's his percentage at?
19.5. Nemo's is actually higher.
Really?
Yeah, at 20.2.
Ooh, fuck. Jesus. Fucking love to strike out.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's every 5th at bat. Is that really that bad? Every 5th at bat? Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Let's see what other numbers I could pull for us to be disappointed in.
Right, might as well. Just pour it on. Get it over with.
I don't really know if I actually have too many others because I think that pretty much went through everything.
Just took a massive dump on all of it.
Yeah. I would like to see Lindor's Savant page, though. I will say that.
I would be nervous. I'm actually going to follow suit and pull that up, but I'm a little nervous about that one.
Let's check that out. Load. Oof. That's a lot of blue. I mean, his defense is good at least. But oof.
How is his outs above average at a 92?
Because that's defense.
Right. His arm strength is 23rd percentile?
Yeah, that doesn't feel right.
He's got a strong arm, I thought.
That's pretty low, dude.
At least he's barreling up the ball okay at 64. But hard hit is lower. I didn't make myself feel better. I'm gonna pull up Alonso's. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Holy
Oh my god.
dude, hold on. Go to Alonso. Look at his barrel and his expected WOBA.
Let's say. Oh wow.
Dude.
As
Now it's above
expected
average,
slugging.
85. Chase rate 52 is not great. Hard hit percentage is kind of surprising. And max exit velo only 89. Expected batting average 7%. Expected slugging 97. 69 walk percentage. Let's go.
Yes, sex.
Need it. I want to check the entire MLB.
It hasn't even started raining yet, by the way, for the Mets game.
Really? It's
Yeah.
just, they just expect rain.
Yep.
Naturally, Aaron Judge is just at the top of pretty much every number.
To the surprise of no one.
There's surprise, absolutely no. Expecting bat. Wow, Acuna expected batting average of
Freeman's having a
352.
great year.
Oh, what a surprise. Bless you.
Thank you.
I mean, you can't even hang your hat on anything with Lindor. Like, you really can't. He's somewhat hitting the ball hard, but it's like,
Nothing else.
even then, it's like, it just,
Bless you.
The only time
it's
he hits
not
the
even
ball
like
hard is when
at
he's
an
hitting third.
exceptional rate where it's like, you could hang your hat on it.
No, you can't. God, Aaron Judge is like really fucking good at baseball.
He's all right. I've seen better.
That whole thing last year with like Steve Cohen, like, oh, I'm not gonna go after him and piss off my friend or whatever by going after Aaron Judge. What a fucking stupid thing.
I would. Yeah,
Screw your fucking friend. You're in the business of making friends.
Yeah. Matt Olson, wow.
Yeah, freaking
Yeah,
Matt
so-
Olson lighting
But
him up.
seriously, like, yeah, what is this friendship bullshit?
Stupid, dude. Like, just get over yourself. Just fucking come on. The richest owner
It's
in the
like
MLB.
wrong if someone on their 9 to 5 is just even flirting with someone, but like we care about friendships in a billionaire
Right.
business here.
Here, you want to make yourself happy? Go look at Matt Chapman's baseball savant and tell me you don't want him.
Let's see. I know he's having an absurd year. Let's see it.
Absurd me putting it calmly. I mean, he's lighting it up.
Oh my god.
How sick is that?
The
Luis
only
Arias.
thing I'm worried about is like, is it sustainable? Because look at some of the prior
Definitely
years.
not. But if he's having a good year and you can let him walk, fine.
That I agree with. Yeah. That I agree with because, yeah, you go to 2021 was brutal for him. My God.
Oh my, dude, go look at Javier Baez.
What a joke.
That's really bad.
That's
He's
something
one
I'm
triple.
interested in.
That's it.
That is like as blue gets, I think.
Oh
I
my-
think that's like Chris Davis. bad.
Outs above average.
That's disgusting.
How bad is that?
At least the glove is still good.
Right, if nothing else. And even then, dude, like he still has some of the most memeable errors in MLB history.
Did he
Carlos
win?
Correa is pretty brutal
Yeah.
too.
Luis Robert is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Damn, Luis Robert is awful.
Did Baez win a Gold Glove last year, or was
No,
close to
I
it?
don't think he won shit last year.
Or it might have been 2 years ago then.
Who are we talking about for the White Sox? Tim Anderson and who
Yeah,
else?
Tim Anderson.
Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, Eloy.
What about? Oh, never mind. Here we have it there.
Yeah, Jimenez. I want to check his Savant page out.
I feel like he won't be bad. Oh shit, we gotta get ready to leave. I got like another minute in me.
All right, that's
Yeah,
all
Jimenez is
good.
not bad. Not good or bad. Well, actually pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
That's really bad. What about Manoa?
Anderson.
Yeah, Tim Anderson.
I want to check Tyler O'Neill.
Oh, no.
He's good. I like Tyler O'Neill.
Oh my God, Tim Anderson, awful too. Blue everywhere.
I mean, the White Sox don't know what a computer is, to be fair. So it's like you
That's
can't expect these numbers to be good.
freaking facts. Who's their third baseman?
Tyler O'Neill hasn't Yohan Moncada, but Tyler O'Neill has not played enough to qualify for a full Savant page this year. But last
Really?
year's was pretty good. Yeah, I think he's hurt right now.
Oh god, Mancada has 4 stats and that's it.
Tyler
Oh,
O'Neill
wow.
last year though was pretty good. Struck out a lot, but
Take what we can get at this point, dude. Anything's better than what we have.
yeah. I think we'll wrap it up here though. Sorry for a disappointing episode for a
Very
doom
somber.
and gloom episode, but it's just the sad reality of where the Mets are. But thank you, Rangers, though, for not naming your coach while we were
Facts.
doing this. That I
Mhm.
appreciate. But we will be back at it again sometime soon. Mets play the Braves, maybe tonight. If not, tomorrow they'll start. Who knows with the rain? But that is going to be it for us. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live next on the channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hopefully on a better note.